Hi, I'm Tuan. Currently, I'm working two jobs. My daytime job is as an engineer at a large factory, and my nighttime job is teaching at an English center. All in all, I work about 12 hours a day. My day always begins at 5:30 a.m. After washing off, the very first thing I do is to sit down to study Chinese. My factory job is demanding. I have to use English to communicate with our international customers whenever there are complaints about product quality, but I have to use Chinese to communicate with our internal engineers. Right now, my Chinese is only at a beginner level, so I often sit in internal meetings, not understand much. It's quite frustrating, but it's the exact reason I force myself to wake up early and study. By 6:30, I have a very quick, simple breakfast. Just some sandwich slice and a hot cup of cocoa to wake up my brain for the long day ahead. At 7:15, I put on my uniform and head out. Today it's raining, which adds a whole new layer of difficulty to the morning commute. I have to wear a bulky raincoat, and the roads are incredibly slippery, so I have to drive my motorbike much more carefully. There is always a massive traffic jam at this one specific choke point, a small bridge that leads directly into the industrial park. It usually takes me about 20 minutes to get to the company, but today a train crossed our path, so hundreds of us just had to sit in the rain and wait. Fortunately, the rain stopped just as I arrived. To enter the factory, everyone goes through a strict security checkpoint. The guard check for any unauthorized metal objects. It feels like going through an airport security every single morning. At exactly 7:50 a.m., I punch in using a facial recognition device. This company is huge, employing over 13,000 people. Most are Vietnamese, but we have many Chinese and Taiwanese managers as well. My morning is split into two worlds. First, I sit at my desk preparing data for the report on my laptop. Then I have to change into full anti-static gear and head into the clean room to inspect the production lines. By 11 a.m., my stomach is completely empty. We get exactly 1 hour for lunch and rest. The cafeteria is highly automated. We line up, let a machine scan our face, and receive metal tray with food. Obviously, it can't compare to a warm home-cooked meal, but it gives me the calories I need. After a quick meal, I grab my toothbrush and wash up at the nearby sinks. Then comes the most important part of Vietnamese workday, the noon nap. Around 11:30, the office lights go out. I use a $1 mat as a cushion so the hard floor doesn't hurt my back or make me too cold, and I curl up under my desk. Sleeping at work might seem strange to some, but here is the norm. That 20-minute nap is the only thing that keeps me awake during the afternoon shift. I spend my entire afternoon back inside the clean room resolving urgent production issues. Finally, at 5:30 p.m., I get to clock out and head home. Tonight it's my turn to prepare dinner, but I realized our family was completely out of rice, so I took a quick detour to our local village rice mill. The machines here are over 20 years old. They are loud, rusty, and covered in dust, but they still get the job done perfectly. To get the fluffy white rice we eat every day, the grains go through a beautiful chaotic process. First, the patty is sun-dried. This hardens the grains so they don't break and makes the outer husk easier to remove. Next, it goes into the husking machine, which rub off the rough outer layer, leaving behind nutritious brown rice. Then the polisher takes over, stripping away the thin brown bran layer to reveal the familiar white grain. Finally, the sifter shakes everything to filter out broken pieces, stones, and dirt. The best part about this old school process is that absolutely nothing goes to waste. The leftover husks are used for gardening or cooking fuel, and the vitamin-rich bran is collected to make high-quality animal feed. By 6:30 p.m., it's time to prepare dinner for the family. First, I boil a solid chunk of pork. When it's fully cooked, I let it rest for a moment before slicing it into thin bite-sized pieces. Next, I make my younger sister's absolute favorite, Vietnamese-style fried eggs. I crack 3 eggs into a small bowl, but instead of salt, I season it with a splash of fish sauce. If you step into any home in Vietnam, you will find a bottle of fish sauce in the kitchen. It is the soul of our cuisine, adding a deep, savory richness that salt simply cannot replicate. I fry the eggs on high heat for about 3 minutes until the edge curl off, turn a crispy golden brown, and release the most mouth-watering aroma. Today's meal is incredibly simple but comforting. There are pork, eggs, and vegetable. It doesn't take much money or time to make, but a hot home-cooked meal like this is exactly what I need to recharge before my night shift. Because I have to leave soon, my younger sister kindly takes over the washing so I can get ready for my second job. At 7:30 p.m., I head out to the local English center and start my shift. In Vietnam, it is very common for students to take supplementary evening classes. I teach a basic level course. Even though I am physically exhausted by this time of night, I genuinely love this job. Standing in front of the whiteboard and seeing my students' English progress week by week brings me a lot of joy. At 10 p.m., my workday is officially over. When I rode home, it rained even heavier than in the morning. I was a bit scared because there was only me on the road. But tonight, just as I was putting my clothes on, the power went out. In the past, power cuts in rural Vietnam happened constantly. Thanks to rapid infrastructure development, they are much less common now, but they still catch us by surprise. Because it's summer, sitting inside without a fan or AC is unbearably hot. Usually, our street is dead quiet by 10:30 p.m. But tonight, family brought plastic chair out to the sidewalks. Neighbors were sitting, working, and chatting in the dark to escape the heat. I took my motorbike out and rode around the village with my friends. The night breeze was incredibly cold and refreshing. Around 11:30 p.m., the power was finally restored. The village packed up their chairs and went back inside to sleep. It was a 12-hour workday, followed by an unexpected adventure in the dark. It's exhausting, yes, but it is a good life. Thank you for spending this day with me, and sorry for the accent.